What's going on, everybody? I'm back with another video. This video is going to be looking at how Croatia can win the World Cup with their tactical setup with and without the ball. Before we get into that, check out Keyframe. It's how I'm making this video. Check out both my books in the description below. And be sure to take my tactics course, just came out. All that stuff is in the description. And now let's get right into the tactics of the match. So we'll see Croatia in the World Cup semifinals line up in a 4-3-3 with their fullbacks advancing on and playing primarily in the wide area. Now, the key aspect in possession for Croatia is their three central midfielders. These are by far their three best players, and these players have the most potential to hurt the opposing team. Now, one tendency for these three players is you'll notice they stay very close to one another, promoting combination play, especially in tight areas. Kovacic will often come to the right half space, and Modric will favor coming deeper in the right half space to get on the ball, and then they'll look to create combinations through the half space going forward that will then allow them to create superiority and progress the ball. Now we'll also see Lovren favoring the right half space as well, so when Modric stays higher, he's able to progress the ball on Modric's side and have passing options through his holding midfielder, Modric, his fullback, his winger, and Kovacic coming into the center of the field to then overload this side and create many options on the ball. The weak side central defender will come across and hold down the center while the fullback creates full width on the weak side. So these are a few keys that we'll see from Croatia in their next match, and we'll see their holding midfielder. He will look to come deeper at times or manipulate the man orientation of the attacking midfielder who's covering him. Now, it's going to be very important against Argentina that these players play quite well because of the central pressing trap and man orientation Argentina implement in their defensive phase. They'll put a lot of emphasis on the individual qualities of these three midfielders and the timing of the runs of the fullbacks and wingers. So as we see here, Lovren, he's advancing the ball in the right half space as we said he would do at times when Modric would come deeper and a bit more narrow. Now Modric has a very free role that's complemented very well by his two midfield partners. So these midfield three can change their shape and have a lot of flexibility in possession. Modric comes deeper alongside their holding midfielder, while the fullbacks still create full width of the field, and same with their wingers. Now, the one thing that we should know about the wingers and fullbacks is the timing of their movement. The wingers typically stay high and wide as long as they can, and when the ball is circulated, we'll see, especially in a situation like this with an overload on one side, we'll see the right winger, so this player is mirroring partner on this weak side, he'll come inside the field off the wing, moving the fullback and allowing the Croatian fullback to overlap and get him behind. Now these movements are very well timed from Croatia, and the wingers don't come in too early. We can also see their number 9 dropping between the lines, acting as a target and a link-up player for the three midfielders when they do come under pressure. These are all things to look for when we watch them play in the semifinal. And when they do overload, we'll notice they do quite well with staggering themselves even through the half space. They often create diagonal connections and don't stay too vertical and in line with another. Even with the fullback, we all see they're on different lines, both horizontally and vertically, making it that much harder to defend against. Now when they press, we'll look and see them press to one side, forcing play into the wide area. Now they'll look to target the fullbacks in the wide area, especially in a deeper area. Now the wingers will stay a little bit deeper and more narrow to invite the pass into this wide area. We'll see Modric play a bit more man-oriented against the holding midfielder of the opposing team, with the weak side wide midfielder inverting to create a 4-2-3-1. Kovacic, he'll play very man-oriented as well and act as the number 8 to complement Modric. So the press will pick up the intensity when these players bait the pass into the fullback, and then the press will start. Now this picture is a little blurry, but it was really good in the concept I wanted to show. And one weakness that we'll see from Croatia is from their two holding midfielders and Luka Modric. In the defensive phase, they have a very interesting way about defending in their mid to low block. So What I mean by this is the two holding midfielders, Kovacic and Brozovic, can get quite separated in the defensive phase. Using man orientation, they often track attacking midfielders into wide positions, and then this gap is covered by Modric between the two of them. So this is a little bit interesting way to go about it, and it creates space potentially for the opposing team's central striker or inverted winger to come inside, drop deeper, and access this space and potentially break the defensive setup from Croatia. So these are a few things we can look at, and especially putting a lot of emphasis on Modric's role in possession, sometimes giving him a 2 versus 1 when he's taking away the holding midfielder and a central striker drops. Either Kovacic will have to drop and come to the ball side, or Modric will have to drop and create a midfield 3 out of possession. Let me know in the comments below if you think Croatia will get to the World Cup final, and I'll see you in the next one.